Live from the Brick in Kansas City, it's Rocket Surgery Super Quiz!
Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rocket Surgery Super Quiz. My name is Dirty Rotten No Good Max Popoff. And with me, as always, is Uncle Captain Ronnie James Baldwin. And Kung Fu Jimmy, as always, as well. And the kids do call him that old guy at punk shows. We'll be playing 6 rounds of trivia this evening with 6 questions in each round. Nail round 6 and Jimmy will give you $100. If you ace the entire quiz, you'll win $200 cash. Without further ado, let's begin round 1. Pencils ready. Sharpened? Everyone sharpened? Game 1 is called Which Thing Did We Make Up?
Which thing did we make up?
We're becoming less creative with the titles of these games. Some episodes back, we brought you a game called Which Band Did We Make Up? Where you had to decide which of 2 bands were real and which one we wished was real. Same concept here, but for things. I think you probably get it. Here's an example. A. Trojan horse non-contraceptive condoms. Discreetly perforated condoms for secret seminal infiltration. Or B. Rear gear. Ornaments for covering your dog's butthole. You'd say? No, thank God. A is that we made that up. Right. There are things that cover your dog's buttholes, and thank God there's not something called Trojan horse non-contraceptive.
Man, you know,
condoms.
as superficial as that is, there are some dogs' buttholes which, man, they really do need to be covered up. They look like big human buttholes. Yeah.
Yes, you write down what we made up. A or B. Number 1. A. Brief jerky. Edible meat underwear. Or B. Hillshire Farms clear bacon. Number 2. A. Send Me to Heaven, an app which tests how high into the air you can throw your iPhone. Or B. FAP, an app which locates and rates public bathroom stalls ideal for masturbation. Ladies and gentlemen, Vincent Heine. Number 3. A. Sure-A-T fecal incontinence test. Underwear strips which show a plus sign to let you know if you soiled yourself. Or B. Hands off. Anti-masturbation chewing gum. Jimmy, this feels thematic. Was your mind on something? Number 4. A. Wu-Tang. Powdered grape drink mix brought to you by the RZA, the Jizza, and the Ghostface Killer. Or B. Dwight Yoakam's chicken lickin' microwavable chicken rings. You know, that's chicken rings, not wings. You can imagine. Number 5. A. Bazooka Pops. Penis enlargement popsicles. Or B. F-Cup. Breast enlargement cookies. And finally, number 6. A. First response. Disney princess-themed home pregnancy test. Or B. Pokemon. Pokemon-themed sex toys.
One of them is real.
One of these is real. We'll reiterate. That is it for Which Thing Did We Make Up?
Which thing did we make up?
Feel free to tweet at us with better names for that game. All right, moving on to game 2 of phase 1. Game 2 tonight is called Rhyme Time Prime. Every answer is 3 consecutive rhyming words. I'll give you the clue and the number of syllables in each word. For instance, if I say, a large concert for a band full of swine, 1 syllable, you would have to say, big pig gig to be correct. Another example would be dialect spoken by the Beatles drummer while he's vacationing in Mexico. Two syllables.
It's a hard one.
Ringo, gringo, lingo.
There you go.
Yeah, right? Jim? 3 words,
Yeah,
all of them.
they're all 3.
They're all 3.
No,
Rhyme time
we'll
prime.
tell you what the syllables are in the
Yeah,
clue.
we will tell you the syllables. Okay. Number 1 in rhyme time prime. Coronate a beige jester. 1 syllable. Coronate a beige jester. Number 2. Lay a Chicago Cubs sportcaster to rest. 2 syllables.
The sound of thinking out there.
It's palpable. Lay a Chicago Cubs sportscaster to rest. Number 3. The most ill-mannered bodhisattva who refuses to wear clothes. 2 syllables. The most ill-mannered bodhisattva who refuses to wear clothes. 2 syllables. Number 4. The avian dropping after the second. 1 syllable. The avian dropping after the second. 1 syllable. Number 5. Toilet of a well-groomed hip-hop MC. 2 syllables. It would be 3 words. Each of those words has 2 syllables. Oh! Number 5 again. The toilet of a well-groomed hip-hop MC. 2 syllables. And finally, number 6, kerchief adorned with tropical fruit from the Cuban capital. 3 syllables. Number 6 again, kerchief adorned with tropical fruit from the Cuban capital. 3 syllables. We need a representative from the first 2 teams to submit.
Okay, what's your name and what team do you represent?
Taj Harrison, and I represent Shady Gang. Woo!
And you, friend?
I'm Suzanne with a do-ron-ron, a party do-ron-ron.
So, there's a buzz around. It's real or no real. I'll give you a fact, and you tell me if it's either real or if I made it up by hitting this buzzer right here. Get it right, and you'll win 1 point for your team and a Jell-O shot. A wrong answer, and your opponent gets both of those things. So only hit it if you're confident. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Real or no real? The leotard is one of 12 zodiac-inspired one-piece garments. The Virgotard, the Libertard, and the Sagittarotard are also worn by gymnasts and acrobats. Real or no real?
No real.
You're right, that's no real. Nice job. Nice job.
Rocket Surgery Super Quiz.
Welcome back to Rocket Surgery Super Quiz. We're going to go over the answers to Phase 1, Game 1, which was, which thing did we make up? And you had to identify the fake thing. 1 was A, beef jerky, edible meat underwear, or B, Hillshire Farms clear bacon. Your answer should have been B, because beef jerky does exist and is available for sale somewhere on the internet. I don't think it's humanely raised, nor is it humanely consumed. Number 2, A, Send Me to Heaven, an app which tests how high you can throw your iPhone, or B, FAP, an app that tells you public bathrooms that are ideal for masturbation? The answer is B, because send me to heaven is a real thing. If you want to break your shit, you can throw it in the air and see how high you threw it. Number 3, A was sure a T, fecal incontinence test, or B, hands off. An anti-masturbation chewing gum. The answer is A, because hands off is real. I don't know what's in that gum that makes you not want to beat it. 4, A was Wu-Tang, powdered grape drink, or B, chicken lickin' microwavable chicken rings. Brought to you by Dwight Yoakam, and the previous was brought to you by the Jizz of the RZA and the Ghostface Killer. A should have been your answer because Dwight Yoakam does indeed sell chicken rings. What part of the chicken is that? Number 5, A was Bazooka Pops, penis enlargement popsicles, or B, F-Cup, breast enlargement cookies. The answer is A, because F-Cups is real. Number 6, A was First Response, a Disney princess-themed home pregnancy test, or B, Pokemon, Pokemon-themed sex toys. The answer should have been A, because Disney princess-themed pregnancy tests do not exist, and should not exist. But Pokemon toys that are sex toys do exist.
They're officially licensed.
They're licensed as well. The answers for game number 2 this evening. Number 1, in Rhyme Time Prime, where we gave you a series of words and then the syllables, and you had to give us the 3 words that all rhyme together. 1 was coronate a beige jester. Answer was crown brown clown. Number 2, lay a Chicago Cubs sportscaster to rest, 2 syllables. That would be Barry Harry Carey. Was he dead? Did he get buried?
A long time ago, yeah.
Oh, fair. All right then. Number 3, the most ill-mannered bodhisattva who refuses to wear clothes would be the rudest, nudist Buddhist. Number 4, the avian dropping after the second, 1 syllable, would be the third bird turd. Number 5, the toilet of a well-groomed hip-hop MC would be a dapper rapper crapper. And number 6, the kerchief adorned with tropical fruit from the Cuban capital, 3 syllables, would be Havana banana bandana. All right. That being said, we're moving on to phase 2 this evening. You have your... Oh, actually, no. We're going to announce the winners from phase 1.
Yeah, let's do that.
Now announcing winners from phase 1.
Oh,
Jimmy, take it away.
1 second. I have to add something.
Oh, Jimmy's going to add some extra points that were won.
Okay.
He added. It was 1 extra point he added. We're going to do the top 3 teams. Tied for last place. It's kind of took a dark turn. Team winner, which is ironic in and of itself. Yep, tied for last place. And Beans from Even Stevens. That's fair. In 3rd place with a score of 32, we have North Karate Champ. That was good, y'all. That was good. Damn. In 2nd place with a score of 36, we have the Shady Gang. And in 1st place with a score of 37, we have a ron, a party ron, do.
Run, a do, run. Yeah.
Oh, see, I did a different song. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But you won this round, this phase, with 37 points. Here's some Jello shots. All right. Here we go, gang. We're going into phase 2, which begins with game 3. Dr. Love, MD. Everyone, give a round of applause for Dr. Frederick Love, MD.
Good evening, everyone.
Dr. Frederick Love is a rock and roll doctor and a former medic in the KISS Army. Dr. Love is going to share some symptoms with you. And these symptoms were reported by the musicians in song lyrics, and you, his residents, must identify the artist and diagnose the patient. The diagnosis just so happens to be the title of the song the doctor's describing. For instance, if Dr. Love says,
The patient is a young male named William Cyrus, who came into the ER complaining of persistent cardio pain and even thinks he's on the verge of a myocardial infarction. The patient also believes that if his vascular organ is somehow informed of a recent breakup, it will explode and kill him.
from this information, it would be Billy Ray Cyrus, Achy Breaky Heart.
Nice.
Y'all are on it. Y'all go to med school?
Number one, good doctor.
Okay, students, our first patient's name is Ronald Belford Scott, an Australian male who, along with 4 acquaintances, claims he is suffering from enlarged testicles. He says that other men may have enlarged testicles, and even some women may have enlarged testicles. However, Mr. Scott asserts that he and his cohorts have the largest testicles out of everyone. Fortunately for Scott and company, this case is not as extreme as the disaster we saw with Mr. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Doc, you wanna give us number 2?
The patient is a young male from Michigan who says he has an elevated temperature. He also has tender, swollen lymph nodes. These characteristics are concurrent with the small skin abrasion incurred after a feline attack. After speaking with the man and assessing his superficial injuries, it's clear that animals hate him as much as he hates them.
Dr. Love, give us number 3.
The next patient is a Welsh female who claims the phenomenon which occurs when light is completely obscured between 2 celestial bodies is somehow taking place inside her own body, her chest cavity more specifically. This occurrence, casting darkness upon a cardio organ inside of a human body, is unprecedented in both astronomy and medicine.
Number 4, Doc?
This is a double diagnosis, students. The patient's name is Mr. Rivers, who says he has an inflammatory lung infection brought about by musical jostling. On top of this, he's also claiming symptoms of influenza caused by upbeat piano blues that was popular in the 1920s. I've seen these melodies coupled before. Huey Piano Smith originally suffered from both conditions in 1957. The Flamin' Groovies had them in 1969, and Aerosmith endured the illness in 1987 for the Less Than Zero soundtrack.
And patient number 5?
The patient is a 19-year-old male named Edward who claims he's suffering from a unique form of seasonal depression spurred by hot weather and sunshine, and not the usual cold weather and gloom. He also claims that there is no cure for his depression. Oddly, he consulted the United Nations and his local congressman before seeking medical treatment.
Wow.
And finally, patient number 6, Doctor.
This one is a psychological diagnosis. The patient is a young Mexican-American male. He claims he's suffering from hysteria, not affecting his mind, rather but a thin layer of tissue that protects cells and organs which have no cognitive function. More troubling is that the patient's cohort, Mr. Senan Reyes, or Sendog, claims emphatically that our patient's mind is missing altogether.
Dr. Love.
Dr. Love, everybody, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day saving lives to show us these cases. All right, folks, game 4 this evening is called Film Cisponus.
I think I've decided the word is pronounced cisponies.
Sounds like heteronormative horses.
Bunch of cisponies.
Game 4 this evening is called Film Cisponese. These are movie plots in reverse. I'll read 6 movie plot synopses backwards, and you tell us the title. For instance, 2 American women and a Japanese man, tragically conjoined through their mouths and their anuses, find hope when a brilliant surgeon, Dr. Dieter Laser, finds a way to separate them. Then the girls enjoy vacationing in the Netherlands. And the answer, Human Centipede. All right, everybody. Number 1. 5 friends from Shermer High School spend a Saturday in detention together. After sharing stories and getting to know one another, they realize they have nothing in common and have no business being friends in the first place. Number 1 again. 5 friends from Shermer High School spend a Saturday in detention together. After sharing stories and getting to know each other, they realize they have nothing in common and have no business being friends in the first place. Number 2, Joel Barish pays to have his memory restored after falling in love with a woman for the second time and wishing to retain his memories from the first time they were together. Number 2 again. Joel Barish pays to have his memory restored after falling in love with a woman for the second time and wishing to retain his memories from the first time they were together. How sweet. How tender. Number 3. 4 friends abandon a dead child in the woods and embark on a harrowing journey home. Number 3 again. 4 friends abandon a dead child in the woods and embark on a harrowing journey home. Yeah, harrowing. Well, in later years, I think some of them might have. Number 4. A promising mathematical prodigy is persuaded by a psychiatrist that he'd be much happier working as a janitor. Number 4, once more. A promising mathematical prodigy is persuaded by a psychiatrist that he'd be much happier working as a janitor. Number 5. Lincoln Hawk is a truck driver with a nice truck and a good relationship with his son Michael. But when his truck is taken away and he loses several arm wrestling matches, he also loses his son's respect, and his dead ex-wife comes back to life. Number 5 again. Lincoln Hawk is a truck driver with a nice truck and a good relationship with his son Michael. But when his truck is taken away and he loses several arm wrestling matches, he also loses his son's respect, and his dead ex-wife comes back to life. Number 6. Vivian and Edward are a rich and powerful couple. After attending social events and several days together in a luxury hotel, Edward has a change of heart and realizes his wife is nothing more than a prostitute, and he drops her off on Hollywood Boulevard. Vivian and Edward are a rich and powerful couple. After attending social events and several days together in a luxury hotel, Edward has a change of heart and realizes his wife is nothing more than a prostitute, and he drops her off on Hollywood Boulevard. And folks, that is the end of Phase 2.
Contract. From now on, no more sorrows about money. Everyone is happy to start this game.
Wow. All right. Here we are. Welcome back to Rocket Surgery. We'll go over the answers for Phase 2. Game 3 tonight was called Dr. Love MD. We diagnosed artist No, we didn't, Vince. Thank you. So we'll go over the answers here. Number 1. Ronald Belford Scott's stage name is Bon Scott. He's an Australian male with enlarged testicles. Others may have enlarged testicles, but Bond and his friends have the biggest balls of them all.
Right.
That was AC/DC, and their song is Big Balls. Number 2, the patient was Ted Nugent, who had an elevated temperature and swollen lymph nodes after being attacked by a feline. Ted Nugent is the artist, and Cat Scratch Fever is the song. Number 3, a Welsh female. Light being obscured by two bodies passing each other is an eclipse. When it happens completely, it's a total eclipse, and when it happens to your cardio organ, it's of course a total eclipse of the heart by Bonnie Tyler. Number 4 was tough. It was a double diagnosis. The patient, Mr. Rivers, was Johnny Rivers, who reports an inflammatory lung infection brought about by musical jostling as well as influenza caused by upbeat piano blues popular in the 20s. Poor Johnny had both the rockin' pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu. Number 5. The patient was Mr. Cochran, who was suffered from a rare seasonal depression spurred by hot weather and sunshine. The patient was Eddie Cochran, and the song was Summertime Blues.
Remember we said in the clue that it was Mr. Cochran, and no one in Blue Cheer is named Mr. Cochran. Blue Cheer did, however, cover the song, so you got credit for the song, but not for the artist. Sorry.
Half a point. 1 point.
No, you guys are awesome, but for unrelated reasons to trivia.
Number 6, a psychological diagnosis. A young Mexican-American male was Be Real, who was suffering from hysteria affecting a thin layer of tissue that protects cells and organs. Sendog says he has no mind altogether. The artist is Cypress Hill, and the song is Insane in the Membrane.
Mm-hmm. It's as if they paid no attention in biology class whatsoever.
What's that?
Oh, because they were like, "Where's my mind?" I can see why you think that.
That was good.
But they're
close.
Right. Yeah.
Then the answers for game 4. Film Sispones, which are backwards movie plots. Number 1. 5 friends from Shermer High School spend a Saturday in detention only to realize they have nothing in common is the Breakfast Club. Number 2. Joel Barish pays to have his memory restored after falling in love with a woman for the second time is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Number 3. 4 friends abandon a dead child in the woods and embark on a journey home. Stand By Me. Number 4. Mathematical prodigy is persuaded by a psychiatrist that he'd be much happier working as a janitor. That's Good Will Hunting. Number 5 is Lincoln Hawk loses his truck in several arm wrestling matches, as well as his son's respect, and his ex-wife comes back to life. It's over the top. Number 6. Vivian and Edward attend social events and several days in a luxury hotel before Edward realizes his wife is a prostitute, and that would be Pretty Woman. So, what about the winners?
The winners for that round was North Karate Champ. So you will be getting 3 extra points and shots of Jello.
Is that just because you're Kung Fu Jimmy and they'd made a karate
I
reference?
favor the
Or you
martial arts themed teams, man.
Are they brown nosing right now?
Yeah. Remember when the Feng Shui friends were here? They
No,
won.
we're bigger than that.
Yeah, okay. Order of third to first place. Third place, the Shady Gang with 53. Next to them is North Karate Champ with 56. And in first place tonight, we have Do Run Party
Sing
Run
it.
Run. It should be Do Run Run Party Do Run Run. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. And in first place is a do run run party do run run.
That was good. So, moving along, here we are, phase 3 and game 5. Game 5 is called Roy Cox, Dental Repo Man. And we're going to bring him out.
Roy Cox, everybody.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
So our old pal here, Roy Cox, is joining us tonight to drop some knowledge about a few fantasy childhood creature colleagues of his. As you may be able to deduce by his garb and tooth wand, he is indeed the Tooth Fairy.
He is a tooth fairy for sure.
Well, conjecture. Roy, take it away.
Hey, what's up, party people? My name is Roy Cox, and as Ronnie said, I'm a dental recovery agent. Some people call folks like me tooth fairies, or big fairy boys, as my daddy likes to say. Anyway, it's a job just like any other, except they got us working every single day of the year, and the rest of these yahoos only work about 1 day a year. Except for Hanukkah Harry, and he works about 8 days a year. Me and the rest of the boys are always out here working 365 days a year, and I ain't here to talk shit, but some of y'all gotta realize that we're the hardest working fellas in the imaginary childhood and holiday union of mascots. Y'all probably just know that as iChum.
So you want to give us an example of one of these lazy SOBs you're talking about?
All right, then. I'm not going to name any names because I think my union rep wouldn't like that. But this one's a little furry fella that only crawls out of his garden-level apartment in Pennsylvania once a year for an hour. And some years he doesn't even show up. But he expects everybody to believe his bullshit. Come on, pal, you didn't even go to weatherman school.
Who'd that be?
Punxsutawney
Punks.
Phil.
More
There
like
you go,
punk-ass
right.
Tawny Phil.
Yeah, wow.
You're bitter.
I don't trust that guy. He's got shifty eyes.
All right, so we all get it? You ready for question 1?
Well, we'll go number 1. This little punk thinks he's some high and mighty wingman. And he's 2,000 years old, but he still shits his pants. I mean, he looks like a baby, but he isn't fooling anybody. Child labor law's my ass. Someone lets him play with a bunch of poison-soaked deadly weapons, so I guess he's old enough to hold a job.
All right, Roy boy, you want to get us number 2?
All right, then. This freaky old white-haired Dutch man is a real piece of work. And by that, I mean he does even less work than the rest of these yahoos. Corporate got him his own slave to do his work for him. And I may be from Molar Lake, Alabama, but we don't call nobody Black Pete where I come from. Man, I tell you, though, those kids really do love that old bag.
Number 3.
Well, number 3 is another one of these youngsters that makes you feel like you're surrounded by toddlers in the workplace. Or, in his case, a freaky reverse Benjamin Button baby. Kid works 1 night a year, and all he has to do is wear a top hat and a sash. By the end of the year, he's bitching and moaning, acting older than my grandpappy, who worked in a canned pork factory for 65 years. Come on, kid, what do you even do?
Sounds like a real brat, Roy. Want to give us number 4?
Well, he's a little brat, I tell you what there, Ronnie. Oh boy, number 4. These guys all reek of booze 24/7. Their entire arduous 1 day of work a year, they spend it completely hammered. Puking on people's shoes, pissing in the gutter all over the globe. Not like it's different from any other day of the year. I think they're sneaking booze into the office in their thermoses. I don't know why they're even coming to work. They all claim they're loaded. Bunch of drunk, rich pricks.
That's terrible. Number 5, Roy?
Number 5 then. This fella has actually never even showed up to work. 50 years, and this dude is still on payroll. Corporate says he's some rotund guy with a real orange face, but come every Halloween, when he's supposed to come into the office, he's a no-show. Kind of sounds like a president. I don't know about that. I know one kid who still worships this guy, despite the fact that he's a huge flake. He's let that poor kid down every single year.
Let that kid down every year for 50 years.
50 years on Halloween, he never shows up.
That is like the oldest kid. ever.
That's a real old man, baby. He ain't no reverse Benjamin Button. He's straight Benjamin Button.
He sounds like a real jerk off. I wouldn't want to be let down like that. Well, how about number 6?
Well, number 6. He may be the last on the list, but he is certainly not the least on my shit list. This little boy really nips at my nose, and he does work a lot more than these other guys. He works about 3 or 4 months a year, but it gives me the cold shoulder every time I see him. And most folks get the chills when he walks into a room. Practically makes my blood run cold.
That's unbelievable. All right, everybody give a round of applause for our toothy friend, Roy. He works real hard. And up next, we have our final and most possibly rewarding game of the evening. Take it away, Jimmy.
I will play 11 music and movie clips. You have to identify each band or artist and each movie title, then identify what they have in common. For instance, if we played a U2 song followed by a clip from Air Force One, then Love Shack by the B-52s, the connection would be that they're all aircraft, right? One team that can identify 11 clips and the connection will win $100. So apparently there's some confusion. It's either a band or a movie. So you name the band that's playing the music or the movie that's being played. There's 11 of them. In the 12th space, what is the tie that binds them together? All right, here we go. Toon Train.
What the heck's going on here? Okay, I'm sorry about this, Jim. He's just a neighborhood kid. He just...
Guess he was sleep golfing?
Watch out for that drool spot. Stay up for links at night.
So I'm ready now. Let's go, Sandy. Come on.
Let's roll. Set. Ready. And action.
Louder, Siri.
What line?
Sound boy.
Clouds in a crystal ball. Engine mounts in a foreign place.
You don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper. That's inappropriate.
I'm so educated and I'm so civilized, 'cause I'm a strict midget of the night.
The Department of Child and Family Services contacted us.
Yeah.
They shared with us that your records show that your intellectual capacity is around that of a 7-year-old.
This is great. Did you see this president talking through the goddamn bill?
Yeah, one more time here. There's $100 on the line. We're not going to number them.
What the heck's going on here? Okay, I'm sorry about this, Jim. He's just a neighborhood kid. He just...
Guess he was sleep golfing?
Watch out for that drool spot. Stay up for links at night.
So I'm ready now. Let's go, Sandy. Come on.
Let's roll. Set. Ready. And action.
What line?
Clouds in a crystal ball. Engine mounts in a foreign place.
You don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper. That's inappropriate.
I'm so educated and I'm so civilized, 'cause I'm a strict midget of the night.
The Department of Child and Family Services contacted us.
Yeah.
They shared with us that your records show that your intellectual capacity is around that of a 7-year-old.
This is great. Did you see this president talking through the goddamn bill?
beginnen. Ersperren Neonlichter, wollten nur kurz halten und mal liegen sehen. War gleich geflasht mit diesem Fest der Gestalten und Lebewesen. Erkenne kleine, schnelle UFOs, die über der Theke schweben. Außerirdische Proleten, die sich brüllend auf die Tresen legen. Barocker fahren auf Schienen, Dampf steigt aus den Gläsern auf. Setz mich zu nem schillernden Geschöpf, das blaue Gräser raucht. Die Klingonen lachen, schallen, krümmen sich und reden laut, weil ein humanes Hologramm...
A little louder. Cheer for yourselves. All right. Answers for Game 5. Game 5 this evening, we had a special guest. It was Roy Cox, the Dental Repo Man. Number 1. He's a high and mighty wingman who still shits his pants. He was talking about child labor laws and poison-soaked deadly weapons. This character is also 2,000 years old. That would be Cupid. Number 2, a freaky old white-haired Dutchman. He has his own slave named Black Pete, and kids really do love this old bag. That is Sinterklaas.
But we did give people credit for Santa Claus.
Because it is a Dutch version of Santa Claus. Also, if you don't know, the Dutch version of Santa Claus is an evil, terrifying man who shows up in a boat and just basically tries to enslave people.
Our Santa Claus doesn't have slaves.
Yeah. Number 3. He's a freaky reverse Benjamin Button baby who works one night a year. That also sounds like the intro to a really bad movie. He's a freaky reverse Benjamin Button baby who works one night a year, and all he has to do is wear a top hat and a sash. By the end of the year, he acts really, really old, but what did he even do? That would be Baby New Year. Number 4, these guys all reek of booze 24/7. They have one day of work, and on that day they are puking and pissing in gutters all over the globe. They're sneaking booze into the office in thermoses, and they all claim to be rich. Though no one can prove it. That would be leprechauns. The drunkest of all lore. Number 5, this dude has actually never even showed up to work after 50 years, but he's still on payroll. He's some rotund guy who's real orange, but he never shows up, and he continues to let down one kid who worships him, despite his flakiness. That'd be the Great Pumpkin. Number 6, this old boy really nips in my nose, and he only works about 3 or 4 months a year. He gives everyone the cold shoulder, and most folks get chills when he walks into the room. He even has the power to make your blood run cold. That would be Jack Frost, but we also accepted Old Man Winter.
I don't think we needed to.
Everyone got Jack Frost? Hey, guys. Hey, good job. All right. And Game 6, we're going to identify the clips and their connection. Jim, take it away. Van Halen.
What the heck's going on here? Kid, I'm sorry about this, Jim. It's just a neighborhood kid.
Guess he was sleep golfing?
Watch out for that drool spot. Stay up for links at night, okay?
Donnie Darko. Wilson Phillips.
So I'm ready now. Let's go, Sandy. Come on.
Let's roll. Set. Yeah, we're ready. Camera has speed. And action.
That is the Disaster Artist.
What line? What is...
Saw you again today. I had to turn my heart away.
Heart.
Dark clouds in a crystal ball. Engine mounts in a foreign place.
Devo.
Don't give a $500 tip to the housekeeper. That's inappropriate.
That was Bottle Rocket. Number 7 was Bottle Rocket. The Kinks. Number 8. Dire Straits.
or the Department of Child and Family Services contacted us.
Yeah.
They shared with us that your records show that your intellectual capacity is around that of a 7-year-old.
Number 10 was I Am Sam, Definitely, Definitely.
This is great. Did you see this president talking through the goddamn bill?
Number 11 was Young Guns. And the connection, anybody? Siblings.
That's
There's a
right.
connection.
One team got
The
it
Van
right.
Halens, the Gyllenhaals, the Wilsons, the Francos, the other Wilsons, the Mothersbaugh, a third set of Wilsons, the Davies brothers, the Knopflers, and the Fanning sisters, respectively.
That's right.
Yeah. Drum roll, please.
In third place, with 76 points, is North Karate Champ. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Guys, I read that wrong. Can we pretend like that just never happened?
Yeah. So hold on, take it back real quick. Can you go, yeah?
Yep.
Thank you.
Drum roll, please. In third place, with 71 points, is the Shady Gang. Wait, am I correct in that Shady Gang is usually the Shady Bunch?
Why,
You
why'd
guys were
y'all switch?
dethroned because you guys won the last 2 games. So. Oh. And now in second place with 76 points is North Karate Champ.
That doesn't get old. That's so great.
And squeaking by in first place with 81 points is a Do Run Run Party Do Run Run. Nice
round
job,
of applause.
guys.
Give yourselves a big round of applause as well. Thank y'all for coming out.
All right, have a good night.